If you've been practicing conscious manifestation for a while, you've probably noticed something frustrating, how easy it is to get stuck in your head. You start off with a clear vision, maybe a loving relationship, a thriving business, better health, whatever it is. And you commit to thinking from the end, to visualizing, scripting, affirming. But then you start micromanaging it. You wonder, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing it right? Should I visualize more or should I visualize less? Am I blocking it with doubt? How long is this supposed to take? And suddenly you're tangled up in questions instead of living your answer. You're not creating, you're analyzing. You're not manifesting, you're managing. And here's what we forget. Overthinking is not intuition. Obsessing isn't alignment. And trying to control every outcome, well, that's not conscious creation. It's mental control wearing a spiritual mask. Real manifestation is a whole different rhythm, one that requires trust, embodiment, and yes, movement. Not forced hustle, but aligned action.
And that there is the key difference. Movement from alignment, not fear. See, one of the biggest traps in conscious manifestation is believing you have to figure out the how and when before it even happens. But let's be honest. When has micromanaging the universe ever worked? It's like using a GPS and constantly pulling over to second guess its directions. You're asking, is this the fastest route? Should I take a detour? What if this road leads nowhere? Meanwhile, you're not moving. You're thinking your way out of flow, out of power. You're trying to manifest from the head, not the heart. But here's what most people miss. Your creative power doesn't live in your logic. It lives in your awareness. Your decision and your willingness to act before you're sure. It's the direction between planning a feast and actually cooking the meal. You need the vision, but without the action, it stays in your imagination. Nothing gets served, nothing gets tasted.
Exactly. And that brings us to something we really want you to hear. Action is not a last resort, it's your first language. We put so much emphasis on inner work in the conscious creation space. Imagination, state of being, identity shifts. And those are vital, but they're the blueprints. They're the energetic design. Action is the construction. It's how you build the house. Think about it like this. You've aligned your energy, you've imagined the dream. But are you still acting like someone who already has it? Because that's where embodiment lives. Not in perfect stillness, but in responsive, intentional movement. And I don't mean random hustle. I mean movement that comes from the version of you who knows it's already done. Sometimes that's a bold leap. Sometimes it's a gentle next step. Sometimes it's choosing rest from a place of trust. But it's always conscious, always participatory.
Right. And that's where the magic lives, in participation. Even receding is a form of action. Letting go is an action. Saying yes is an action. What matters isn't whether you're doing something externally. What matters is the energy behind it. Are you engaging with life from fear or from clarity? Because when you act from alignment, you shift space. You stop hovering around your desire like a drone circling a landing pad, and you start being the person who already has it. That is when things change. Every time you act from your desired identity, you anchor it, you reinforce it, you normalize the frequency, and you send a signal to your nervous system that says, this is safe, this is mine, I live here now. That's what Neville Goddard meant by living in the end. Not dreaming, being.
And here's something else to remember. Aligned action doesn't always look dramatic. It could be sending the email you've been avoiding, raising your prices because you finally see your worth, showing up to the workout you almost skipped, booking that trip, writing that post, saying no to the thing that drains you. It can even be doing nothing, but only if that nothing is coming from peace, not paralysis, not avoidance dressed up as surrender. So, how do you know what's aligned? Simple. You feel it. Your body knows. If it feels light, open, expansive, that's a yes. If it feels heavy, constricted, anxious, it's probably not coming from your highest state. But to access that, you've got to pause, check in, breathe, feel, then move. That's your compass.
And here's the beautiful part. When you stop trying to get it perfect, when you stop waiting for certainty, you allow momentum. Action gives you real-time feedback. You wobble, you learn, you grow. It's like learning to ride a bike. You don't master it by reading about balance. You master it by wobbling, adjusting, and trusting the process. Perfectionism kills motion. Curiosity fuels it. So if you've been stuck thinking, analyzing, waiting for signs, try something radical. Move anyway. Move even with shaky knees. That leap of faith, that's alignment. Not the endless planning, but the willingness to participate in your unfolding.
So let's land it here. If you've been caught in the loop of, am I doing this right? It's time to stop circling the dream and start living into it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need all the answers. You just need one thing, and that is a willingness to take the next honest, intuitive step. Because manifestation doesn't belong to the thinker, it belongs to the mover, the feeler, the one who listens and then responds, the one who dares to live like it's already done.
And that one is you. So what's your next aligned step? If this resonated with you, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next conversation. And tell us in the comments, what aligned action are you being called to take today? Thanks for watching, and remember, you're not here to wait. You're here to create. Until next time, think differently, dream boldly, and create consciously.
I'm a quiet rebel, I don't need a shower. Changing the world from the inside out. No fists in the air.